Siva Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Sokkanatha Venba, verse number 14. The verse goes this way. Yeri suduvathu allaal, irumbu sudumo, ari ayarkum, vasavarkum, yarkum, periyavarkum ponume, tam todil nin pon arulal, tenmadurai tanuve Sokkanatha. Today's verse talks about there's only one God, and that is Sokkanatha. That's what we are going to talk about today. But today we all know there is a particular God to take care of creation. There is a particular God taking care of sustenance. There is a particular God taking care of destruction and whatsoever. Whoever we call it, whatever we call it, they are all acting as per Lord Shiva's instructions. They are not working on their own. They don't work on their own. Everything is directed by Lord Shiva. And that is what today's verse talks about. Ari, Ayarkum, Vasavarkum. Vasavan is Indran. We all know the name Indra is given because he is the one taking care of all the Indriyam. Indriyam is the senses. So whoever takes care of our senses. Is my nose working properly? Is my eyes working properly? Is my skin working properly? All those are going to be taken care by Indra. Now, every deva has their own limitations. They are given instructions as per, we all have job descriptions when we join a company. Similar to that, there are job descriptions given to these devas as well. And who has given this job description is Lord Shiva. That's what they say. Tam todil, their own work, nin pon arulal. It is because of your instruction. But today we forget about that. Imagine there is a grinder that is grinding chutney. We take a little bit and we taste it. The chutney's taste is so awesome. And what will happen if we appreciate the grinder saying, wow, grinder, you're doing such a wonderful job. Your chutney is so good. Is it logical? Or let's imagine we taste the chutney and it is horrible and we start criticizing the grinder. The others will look at us and laugh at us, isn't it? It's like such a crazy person. Instead, what we should do is the person who added the ingredients to the grinder must be appreciated or criticized. But what are we doing today? We are appreciating or we are criticizing the grinder which acts as per the instructions given by someone. Now, who does the creation work? Who does the sustenance work? Everyone is taking instructions from Lord Shiva. So there is no point in criticizing them or appreciating them. But rather what we have to do is go back to the root of it. The root is Lord Shiva. Talk to him, criticize him, scold him, appreciate him, thank him for whatever experience he is giving. This is given by an analogy here to say, let's imagine we have a hot iron rod and we are putting it in a furnace and it's becoming red hot. After that, when we sprinkle water in it, the water will be evaporated, which means the water will be absorbed as by the iron. Is it really the iron which is absorbing the water? No. Actually, it is the heat within that. But what we are trying to do is we forget about the heat within the iron rod, but we start appreciating or we start criticizing the iron rod itself to say it is evaporating the water or it is consuming the water. But if you look at it, what is instrumenting this is the heat within that. So what we have to do is go to the root of it rather than staying in a superficial manner. Who is the driving force for all the actions that is happening around us is Lord Shiva. So what we have to do is start appreciating or criticizing Lord Shiva. Start scolding or thanking Lord Shiva because he is the one who makes everything happen. Now let's look at this. It says as Yeri suduvathu allaal, irumbu sudumo. Irumbu is iron rod. Yeri is the heat or the fire. Ari ayarkum, vasavarkum, yarkum, periyavarkum. Beautiful word. Periyavar means someone who is in an elevated state. So who is really in an elevated state? We need to go back to Kari Pillayar to understand this. In his second Tirumurai, in Tirumananjeri Tirupadigam, he is talking about this. 7th and 8th verse talks about this. He says, whoever is holding on to Lord Shiva in their heart is someone who's in an elevated state. So they are called as Periyor. And whoever is singing praises of Lord Shiva is Periyor. So the moment we say Periyor, it means elevated soul. Who is an elevated soul? Someone who knows about Lord Shiva, whoever holds on to Lord Shiva as a permanent factor, and whoever is singing praises of Lord Shiva, they are the real elevated soul. So even those elevated souls are acting as per Lord Shiva's instructions, not by their own self. There is nothing like they work on their own, but everything is passed down by Lord Shiva's grace. That is what verse number 14 is all about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam.